So Tucker Carlson's interview with Putin, interesting. A couple of interesting thoughts I have. One is I thought it was interesting that Putin had said, I think twice, to Tucker Carlson, do you want to have a show or do you want to have a serious conversation? I think that says a whole lot about our media, period. And also just jumping to the end, not that everything else wasn't important, but when Tucker Carlson was trying to get the reporter that's been there for a year released, I think he was missing what Putin was saying. Putin was saying he's not a reporter. Basically, he has been acting as a reporter, but doing work for intelligence agencies. So, yeah, that's a problem. That's more than just a reporter. I don't think that should come as a big shock. But look, this is very simple. NATO has been pushing up on Putin for decades now, okay? And in Ukraine, under Zelensky, the West is controlling it. So America, so NATO. Putin basically said the whole thing could end tomorrow. Just stop sending weapons to Ukraine. That means us. That means our tax money. All that money that they continually send to Ukraine that they call aid and all this bullshit. Yeah, it could end tomorrow. Russia has a right to defend itself. Trump has said before that, Ukraine is the apple of Putin's eye, because there's many Russians there that don't want to be under the West's control. Even though our state-run media, our propaganda machine media, which interestingly also Putin had mentioned how, the West controls the media worldwide pretty much. Yeah, I've said this before, basically through CNN, but other networks. And who are those people? They're intelligence agencies. And I thought too, going back to this intelligence agency thing, he said something, I was trying to find it in the transcript. He said something in the beginning about the CIA and how Tucker Carlson didn't get to be in the CIA or something. Something like that. It was because many of the media people you see on TV, yes, they're part of the intelligence agencies. It's part of what the propaganda state-run media is. If people want to continue to think that's a conspiracy, then that's what makes America stay stupid. Is that you just believe whatever these people say and never look at the people that were going crazy over anybody interviewing Vladimir Putin, because God forbid the West maybe could understand anything he's saying, right? Because we're supposed to believe that he's this big bad monster that wants to nuke everybody. Look, the man's been in charge there in Russia for 24 years and he hasn't nuked anybody. So I think he's able to control himself. But when you have NATO pushing up on your border, all in the name of, and this is what this all goes back to, the West gets involved in shit they shouldn't get involved in. They do. The socialists in this country wanting really, the socialists always say that they're not about war. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, because they want freedom for everybody in the world. Well, you have to let countries handle that themselves. Every time we go getting involved in trying to westernize countries that are not ready to be westernized, all it makes us look like is tyrannical dictators. It doesn't help anybody. If that's not clear as day after the Iraq war, then I don't know what would make people see the truth of that. But as far as some of the things that were said, I felt like that Putin was kind of digging at Tucker Carlson at times. Because, let's face it, I know everybody wants to put Tucker on this hero status. And, okay, fine, after all these years, after being on CNN, after being on Fox, so he suddenly turns his ways, right? Okay, whatever. Or maybe he's coming to the truth of things. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm more skeptical of people. But I just felt like that Putin was giving him some digs at times. But Putin was actually giving him and gave him archived documents to take home and read just about the history. And Tucker Carlson had made some comment about how, well, that's not relevant. No, it is. That's the reason Putin was telling the history of Russia, going through the whole the Hitler, Germany, all of that. He was going through all of it because it is relevant. It all goes back to all of that. So to say it's not relevant is ridiculous. History is relevant in that case because it all shows this continual pattern of people that are Nazified. Like Putin doesn't want the Nazi regime, even though our very Nazi regime that has been controlling the media in this country has wanted to make Putin look like he is the Nazi, and this dictator that wants to kill everybody. Look, the people of Russia feel safe under him. And if you look at him compared to what we have in the White House right now, I mean, it just speaks volumes to what a leader looks like when they're protecting their country and the interests of their country. We do not have anybody, no experts in this country, nobody that is protecting the interests of America right now. No, everybody has sold out. Because of our country being so prosperous, it's what has hurt us in the end, okay? Because look at all of the CEOs in this country that have gone to such a disgusting greed-like mentality that they could care less what they do to their own country or to their people, that their neighbors. Also, Putin had said Secretary of Defense Gates, former director of CIA, and Secretary of State Rice came in here in this cabinet right here at this table. They sat at this table, me, the foreign minister, the Russian defense minister on that side. They said to me, yes, we have thought about it. We agree. I said, thank God. Great. But with some exceptions, so twice you've described, and I think this is now Tucker Carlson saying, so twice you have described the U.S. presidents making decisions and then being undercut by their agency heads. So it sounds like you're describing a system that's not run by the people who are elected in. You're telling it, that's right, that's what you're telling me. And that's basically what he's saying. Because he went on to talk about Nord Stream pipeline and how it was the CIA that blew it up. And basically he said this is an easy conclusion. Who has the motive to do it, and who has the ability to go deep dive like that and do it? Well, the CIA does. That is the reason why much CNN itself has been the news media of the CIA. Again, if Americans want to stay in that this is all a conspiracy, then stay stupid. But we've gotten to this AI craziness and all this craziness in the world because simply that Americans do not want to think for themselves. They want CNN to tell them what to believe. And as long as you want to only listen to those people who have done nothing but take us into endless wars, get our people killed, take us under a corporate dictatorship in this country, then you do not want to see the truth. You want to stay stupid. I'm not trying to be hard. I'm just sick. I'm sick of these people that want to. I'm sick of this conspiracy crap, okay? This was a serious interview. Putin has never said this much because he's never allowed to. This is the reason that our media never interviews this man except for once or twice every 5 years or something. And it's all controlled media that comes out. It's because the interviewers are dictating it. Like I wanted to hear what he had to say. Like when Tucker was saying it wasn't relevant, I'm like, just be quiet, Tucker. Just let the man talk. Like that's who I want to hear from. I mean, he's been head of that country for 24 years. So it's basically that is who, he said on many occasions Russia has wanted to make peace with the US. It's the US. It is the military industrial complex that doesn't want peace with him. They want to control his country like our military industrial complex has tried to control every country. It's time to get past of our hate of Putin.